Alright, let's finish up game 13.2. We have number 10 and 11 left, so let's do those. 10 says if Kate is scheduled for Friday, which one of the following must be true? Uh, so it's a local question, and what we want to do is just put Kate on Friday. Now let's see, that means that Victor has to go on Thursday. And who do we have left? We've taken care of V and K, so we have H, I, and N left. So let's think about what rules are going to affect the placement of H, I, and N over the days of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Um, so one rule says that N cannot go on Monday. So our initial thought might be that H, this is going to be H or I, okay? And now let's look at what other rules we have left. We have these two conditional rules, okay? Uh, one of them says, the first one says, if H is on Monday, then N has to be on Friday. But we just put K on Friday, so that means that H actually cannot be on Monday, okay? So this was actually not exactly right because we were not finished looking at the rules yet, and in fact, I is going to have to go on Monday. So we just figured out something that has to be true, in which case, when you figure something out, you probably want to look for the answers, especially when you're looking for a must be true, when you're doing a must be true question and you figure out something that must be true, you can probably look at the answers and odds are at least 50% or greater. I actually shouldn't try to put an exact number on it, but there's a good chance that that might be the answer. So we look here for something that says Iris has to be scheduled on Monday, and that's answer choice C, and we know that that's our answer. Again, to recap, they told us to put K on Friday, which meant that V had to go on Thursday. So then we looked for rules that would control H, I, and N being placed on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We quickly saw that N cannot go on Monday, so we narrowed it down to H or I for Monday. But then we looked at this rule over here, and we saw that if H was on Monday, then N would have to be on Friday. But they already just told us that N can't be on Friday because K is there. So if N's not on Friday, then H can't be on Monday. So we got rid of N, and then we got rid of H, and we figured out that the only person left to go on Monday was I. Having done that, we then looked for the answer because we basically had done some work and we wanted our reward and we got it. Sometimes you might do some work, look for your reward, you might not get it, and you have to keep going. But normally it's a good practice to check once you feel like you have something that could be the answer to check for it quickly, and then if you don't have it, to go back and finish the analysis. All right, so let's look at number 11. Let's take this off. So let me take this off the board. Uh, okay, so 11 says if Iris is scheduled for Wednesday, which one of the following must be true? So let's put Iris on Wednesday. Okay, and what are they trying to trigger by putting Iris on Wednesday? We might look in the rules for anything that pertains to Iris. That would lead us to this rule, which says that if N is in T, then I has to be on Monday. So if N goes on Tuesday, then I has to be on Monday. But I is not on Monday because they just told us that I is on Wednesday. So that means that N cannot be on Tuesday. Okay, so for this question, we have a no-go here for N under Tuesday. So we're like, N can't go on Monday, N can't go on Tuesday. We don't know exactly which one N is going to go on, but oops, but it's got to go back here somewhere, right? So we're like, all right, N's going to be back here somewhere. So now what? Well, if N is going to be on the backside, then the block that we have between V and K, that's going to have to go on Monday and Tuesday, right? Because that's the only place where there are two adjacent spaces that are still open. So we put V and K here. So we put the V, we put the K. So who's going to go back here with N? It's going to be H, the only person we have left. So if N and H are going to go in the back, can we straighten that out? It doesn't look like it. And applying the same principle that I just brought up earlier, we might want to, even if you thought that you could straighten that out or whatever, once you put the V and the K, you're guessing that you can probably get your answer from that. So they're asking what must be true. Okay, so let's look through the answers. They say A says Harry is scheduled for an earlier day than the day for which Nancy is scheduled. But Harry and Nancy are interchangeable on Thursday and Friday, so we don't know that Harry's going to come before Nancy. It's possible, but we don't know that it's true. Uh, B says Harry is scheduled for an earlier day than the day for which Kate is scheduled. that's actually impossible. We know that Harry's going to be on Thursday or Friday and Kate's on Tuesday, so that's actually not true. Flat out, it's false. C says Kate is scheduled for an earlier day than the day for which Harry is scheduled. Uh, Kate is earlier than Harry. So Kate's on Tuesday, and we know that Harry's going to be on Thursday or Friday. So regardless of where we put Harry, Kate is going to be before him. So that should be our answer. Now, just in case someone has a question about D or E, D says Nancy is scheduled for an earlier day than the day for which Kate is scheduled. Again, that's impossible. Nancy can't come before Kate. Kate's going to be on Tuesday. Nancy's going to be on either Thursday or Friday. And then E says Nancy is scheduled for an earlier day than the day for which Iris is scheduled. Again, that's impossible. Iris can be on Wednesday, Nancy's going to be on Thursday or Friday. So you can see why D and E are impossible, and we already know why C is our answer. Again, just to recap, we don't know whether N or H is going to come first. We don't know, which one's going to be on Thursday, which one's going to be on Friday, but we do know this up here. So we know that N and H are going to come after the three other variables, V, K, and I. So that's what they gave us in C, that Harry's going to come after Kate. That's true, that must be true, and that's our answer. So this game actually was not that bad. I think one thing that might throw people off a little bit is the two conditional rules. So if you're not used to dealing with these kinds of conditional rules on linear games, then that might throw you off a little bit. But actually, they're not that complicated. They didn't word the conditional rules that confusingly. So really, if you're comfortable with conditional reasoning, then you should be able to do this game. Now, this is actually a game I would say that we would want to do quick. You'd want to do it as fast as you can so that you have more time left over for games that might be harder. That's not to say that, nobody's going to struggle with this game. It's all a little bit subjective. So if you struggled with it, it's not a big deal. But, if you practice it over and over and over again, other games like this, you should be able to get very good at these and be able to do them pretty quickly. Okay, see you in the next video.